Good morning. Today we're going to show you guys a little bit more of the beautiful Scottish island of Bute. We recently headed across for the Highland Games and to run in 10k road race there, and obviously we took the opportunity to take the drone with us, and although the weather wasn't great, it rained quite a lot and the drone doesn't like the rain, we did manage to get quite a lot of really quite impressive footage. I mean, the beautiful views of the island and the houses and the ships and all sorts of things. It was great. What could possibly go wrong? So let's leave the island's capital Rothesay behind and head down to St Blaine's Church. Oh dear, it's one of De Niro's favourite sort of gate. It's the one where he's got to bend in the middle. Come on, De Niro. Go, come on, come on. Yay! Woohoo!
Oh, well done.
He's through.
Come on then.
Oh, De Niro is walking up this path to St Blaine's Chapel, and there are actually sheep on the path. I think he'll be getting kept on a very short leash. Not that he's usually bothered by sheep, but the sheep are probably more bothered by him. Although that one's like, drink, give us a drink, mum, 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 give us a drink. And mum's like, have you seen the size of that great big dog? And the lamb's like, mum, mum, we don't care, give us a drink. That's quite an impressive wall. It goes all the way up the side of this hill. Now this is a type of wall, and you'll get two words of the day in one here. It's called a dry stane dike. Stane meaning stone, obviously, and dike meaning wall. But it's dry, there's nothing holding it together apart from gravity and the skill of the guy that built it. Oh, and there's what we're looking for just up there. That is St Blaine's Church. De Niro, why are you eating grass? This dog has got the strangest sort of dietary habits. At least it's grass and it's not sheep poo, I suppose. This is quite clever. This is crowdsourcing the sort of protection and monitoring of your monuments. Historic Scotland have got this in a few places. What they want you to do is take photographs of the capping of turf on the walls and email it to them, because they can't get round here as often as they would like to check it out. But people that visit can take photos, and then back at base, Historic Scotland can see if anything needs any attention. That's quite a good way of doing it. And of course we are happy to oblige. If you like your history old, this part of the church is 12th century, and this bit through here is much more modern. It is 14th century, so yeah, it's still quite old, to be fair. My favourite gravestone here, for people that like iconography and carvings, has no iconography or carvings, but it's this one up here, which is 10th century. Now, I've seen these before that are on Viking sites in Scotland, in Orkney and Shetland. That's a hogsback gravestone, and it turns out, reading the little sign, this is actually from a Viking settler. So that is a Viking gravestone on Bute. Locally it's called the Tomb of St Blaine, but it isn't. That's definitely Viking. St Blaine's Church is one of the earliest Christian settlements in Scotland. There was actually a monastery founded here by St Blaine, allegedly, in about 500 AD, so it goes back quite a long way, and it's in a beautiful little sheltered valley at the south end of the islands. Now, we've visited quite a lot of these places over the course of our travels, as you know, but this has got to be one of the most beautiful. I mean, it's in this little ring of hills round about it, so it's surrounded on three sides by high ground, and on the fourth side you've got the most amazing view out to sea. It's just gorgeous. So this is where the men of the parish were buried, and I say men of the parish, I mean it. This was reserved for men. If you're a lady, you got buried down there, which is equally as pretty, just a little bit lower down, a little bit further from the church. Yeah, so segregation goes back a long way, as you probably knew already. These are more modern gravestones at this side, and they date back to the 1800s, but there's some really old ones here, going back, as far as we know, to the 10th century, with our Viking friend up there. So that's the upper churchyard. We're heading down to the lower churchyard, which was reserved in Dark Ages times for ladies. This was where, if you were a lady, this is where you would end up if you were lucky, if you were of sufficiently high status to deserve a grave. It's a good job that De Niro is not interested in sheep, because look at the horns on that thing over there. And I was wondering if it was, you know, if it was friendly, if it was worried, and then it did this and dropped its neck and pointed its horns straight at us. So is it having a bite to eat, or is it getting ready to charge? Let's not hang about to find out. That Dalmatian sheep has got a really waggy tail. I've never seen a sheep wag its tail. You're weird. You would think that you had the hang of it by now. Come on, De Niro, get through the gate.
De Niro, this way.
Go.
This way.
Go. Push.
This way.
And breathe.
Good boy.
Hey! Oh, there's been a crime on the island and they reckon it was a dog that did it. So there you are, there's going to be a sheepdog trial. I wonder who the judge is. Probably not a cat. De Niro over there was on trial once as well. He failed. He just wasn't fast enough. And that was that for this wee visit to Bute. We'd had a really good time and we decided actually we were going to come back again the following weekend. So through the magic of television, 3, 2, 1, and here we are 7 days later.
Do not attempt to abandon the vessel unless specifically instructed to do so by a crew member.
This is the other ferry route to the island that goes from Collintrave on the Scottish mainland, and that poor chap there looks like he's had quite a hard life, but I'm sure he's very useful. That's a rescue dummy. And up there is a man that is driving the boat on this very short crossing. So first of all, we're going to go to one of our favourite places. We're going into Rothesay to look at the charity shops, but
Yay.
you've probably guessed that. Bex is off like a little charity shop seeking missile, and over there I can see Cancer Research. But we know from the last time we were here there's a really cool charity shop, like amazing. Yeah, I think it's down here. Last time we were here it was closed, but looking through the window, the charity shops are usually, to be fair, full of junk. This one looked like it was full of like high quality antiques, so maybe a bit out of our price range, but let's go for a wee look. They might have some shoestring stuff. Oh, there's a wee Scottish shop. If you want to go for a wee, that's the place to go for a wee. And this is it. Look at all that amazing stuff. And anybody that's watched our very early videos, like the one from Kirkcaldy, we talk about spongeware, and that was made in Kirkcaldy and Bo'ness mostly. And I've never seen spongeware in a charity shop until now. There is a big spongeware bowl. I am not going to go and ask how much that costs because they might say, yeah, and I might end up buying it. And then Bex might look at me like I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are here because I can buy it. She doesn't want to say no. Now I got to rush and get some cash to buy the plate that I saw last time I was here. The charity shop closed about 2 minutes ago. I'm now trying to run to the bank because the guy says they'll stay open until we get back. But it's cash only and I don't have any cash, so I've had to borrow Bexy's bank card to go to the bank to get money out to buy a scabby old plate. I'm in a hurry up. Cash obtained, and the only thing better than spending your own cash on stuff is spending someone else's. So I've got Bexy's bank card. I'm going to book a flight to somewhere. So, got some cash, and I'm going to go back and buy a bowl. What I'm going to do with that bowl afterwards, I have no idea. But I did see it when we were here for the 10k, so I'm glad we came back and the shop is actually open, albeit only just. Yeah, so that's a very nice charity shop, but basically we just got thrown out. It's like, bah, 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 bah. I'm sorry, we closed 10 minutes ago. It's like, no, stay open.
Oh, we didn't know that.
We want to spend money. After the excitement of me actually buying something in a charity shop, this is Cancer Research. Here we go. I got a row from Bex because we go into charity shops and I do what men do. I rattle around and find what I want and then leave. And women take their time, so she thinks I'm standing behind her saying, come on, next, which I kind of was basically. But there's lots of charity shops to see and time is running out. So this is the main shopping street on the island, and interestingly it used to be on the foreshore, but over time they have reclaimed the land I'm standing on and the land those houses are built on, and then the promenade and the winter gardens and stuff, so it's all been extended and expanded. When they didn't have enough flat bits, they built houses and things. And I think she's still in the Cancer Research shop. There's somebody that looks like Bex. Well, was that a good charity shop, was it?
I quite like that dress in the window, but I think it's quite similar to one I've already got.
Yeah, but it's a nice dress. So we've decided we're not buying that dress in the window, we're going to go down and find the Oxfam shop. This is not a charity shop, this is a gin shop, but they've got Spirit of Bute miniatures there. Lots of gin. That used to be a really cool wee, well, probably still is a really cool wee bakery. It's called the Electric Bakery because it was the first one on the island to have electricity, which is, so it's still known as the Electric Bakery. Bex is wondering if those sunglasses are only £5. I think the answer might be yes because they're bogging. This is my favourite shop on the island. This shop sells absolutely everything, and I mean everything. From fans to gnomes to tools to hula hoops to fishing nets to plastic skeletons. Whatever you want, this shop has very probably got it. If you can't get it here, you don't need it. Does your town have a town bell? Rothesay does. It's the land reclamation that explains, I guess, why the castle is so far from the foreshore, because that is there to control approaches to Rothesay. So once upon a time this would have been just about on the beach, and now it's well, there's the harbour over there, so it's quite a bit back from the beach. Like a lot of our favourite places, Rothesay owes what it is now to the Victorians, because in the mid 18th century this whole place had about 400 people living in it, and the Victorians looked at it and thought, that'd be a nice place for a pleasure ground, that'd be a nice place to have nice houses away from Glasgow. So the place started to grow and develop and prosper, and it's prospering to this day. Bits of it are still a bit sad looking and a bit sort of run down, but on the whole it's a nice wee place with some absolutely amazing houses. Bex and I both comment, even the flats here, the apartments look absolutely amazing. Big proper stone built tenements with big windows, and I bet they're a really nice place to live, and I bet it's got a really good community atmosphere as well. Today's botany lesson: tiny white ones, equally tiny, not quite as white ones, and some orange and red ones that are actually really quite cool, but suffering a bit because it's probably not rained here for a couple of hours. And there's the nice hill that, if you remember our tartan overload video, and you should do because it was only a couple of weeks ago, yeah, I ran up that and had some very uncomplimentary things to say about it. And as today is De Niro's gotcha day, let's buy him a present. What do you think you might like? Something fluffy? How about a little pink fluffy monkey? Or not the big yellow duck? There's Bex. I am waving at her. She is not seeing me. Oh, she's seen me. Yay! She can help me decide what we're going to get De Niro for his gotcha day. Do my eyes deceive me? Have you purchased an item?
That was a great sale in there. I just bought a little beach dress for when we go to the beach.
Oh, but not the beach on Rothesay.
Probably not, no.
Right, we're going to go now and look at the pet shop for De Niro's gotcha day present. What do you think he might like?
Oh, I don't know till I see it.
What he mostly likes is my fluffy microphone, but he's not getting that. Right, so we've just checked we're okay to film in here because you get some funny looks filming in shops. So what do you think a greyhound might like for his gotcha day? Right, okay. Yeah.
Like that?
We have a. Do you think De Niro will like that? I think that's.
Like something to...
Yeah, he'll like that. Another great thing about Bute is it's all like boutique-y little shops. There's no pets at home, but there's an amazing pet shop with a very friendly man who helped us pick De Niro's toy and probably thought we were a bit silly. Ooh. Oxfam shop. Last time we were here they had some lovely tartan trousers and 50% off for selected women. Oh, and there's the record collection. Let's go for a wee look and see if there's any that are a testament to how naff the past must have been back when people thought these things were cool. Ooh, classics up to date with the obligatory young lady on the cover for anyone? No, leave that one here. Okay, at this point Bex walked out because I was filming this, so let's go and see some more of the delights of the beautiful town of Rothesay. Although I think it's safe to say that the Royal Hotel has seen better days. Cracking big building though, that'll be worth fixing up if the economy permits, I suppose. The nice wee marina looks even nicer with a bit of sunlight, and over there is the Victorian toilets, the town's claim to fame. They've got a set of Victorian toilets that have been restored, and you could have seen them in our tartan overload video. A yacht is quite a cool way to travel, I think. Not that we'd know what to do, we'd probably hit an iceberg and sink. Right, let's leave Rothesay behind and go for a wee explore. The island has got a very, very well signposted cycle network, and as you can see, there's not a car in sight. Right, let's go for a wee explore. We are going for a wee ride on our bikes. Now, this is not a cycling vlog, as you know, but we're going for a wee explore to see what we can find, if we can find anything. And hopefully Bex is still somewhere behind me, because this is quite good fun, cycling with one hand and the other hand on the camera. Quite good fun and probably quite dangerous. We're out on our bikes, but as you can see, we're not wearing helmets. That's because some idiot forgot to put them in the back of the van. So we don't usually do this, so please don't take this as some sort of indication that we're happy to be out without. We always wear our helmets because this beautiful face, we've got to protect it. And this one as well, obviously. Obviously. I know that we covered Mount Stuart the last time we were here, the house and the estate, etc. But we just noticed this, the kitchen garden. So I think this would be a great time to do some Scotland on a shoestring special botany. I'm sure if we go in there we'll find lots of lovely new plants for you guys to identify. So let's go for a wee look. And for all the flower identifiers, those are straggly pink ones. That is the straggly pink plant. That is a sort of peachy but quite nice plant. And down here there's the big pink trumpety plant. So there you are, 3 new plants for your plant vocabulary. I would like to say that outside it said kitchen garden, and I don't think there's anything in here you could actually eat, although I think that might be a banana tree thing. Vague recollections. That's what a banana tree looks like.
There's fish around there.
Oh, there's fish. You can get fish for the kitchen garden. Let's go and get some fish for our tea. This is so nice. What a beautiful little place. Oh yes, the goldfish are all having an exciting time in the water.
It's very peaceful, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Apart from you, you're noisy.
So the greenhouse, it turns out, is actually from the Glasgow Garden Festival, and the Marquis bought it and brought it here and had it erected. And the kitchen garden is laid out in 4 plots, but there's an old Scottish style that is mixing flowers and vegetables, and that apparently is the way that it's planted. Now, I don't know enough about either to tell you what's what, but apparently that's what's here, flowers and vegetables. If these are vegetables, they've all got really pretty flowers on it. Oh no, there's a vegetable thing. Is that a vegetable thing there? I've no idea. I think it's actually just another flower. Yeah, we really must get our botanical knowledge sorted out. Oh, those are really pretty, aren't they? That's a really pretty big purple and white one. Purple and white. And over there, more peach, but a different peach. It's not the same peach as the last peach. I'm desperately walking around trying to find something that is a vegetable that I recognise, and so far I am not. So I'm just wittering and I'm going to run out of breath and have to stop and then start all over again. Vegetables, where are you? Bex is off somewhere enjoying the peace and quiet, which I'm now going to ruin by finding her and then talking about how much she's enjoying the peace and quiet in a loud voice, thereby shattering the peace and quiet that she is enjoying, or was enjoying until I found her. Bex, Bex, are you enjoying the peace and quiet, Bex? Is the peace and quiet good here, Bex? Bex, are you enjoying the peace and quiet? Is it good? Is it peaceful and quiet? Oh, and we've found some rhubarb. Rhubarb, is that a vegetable? Don't know, but rhubarb and I think onions. I'm not an expert. There's rhubarb and there's onions, and Bex has just found sweet corn. So this is the kitchen part of the kitchen garden. If you want a rhubarb, onion and sweet corn flan, this is a place to get the ingredients. And I know our botany, we identify plants by colour, but looking at this flower bed, I'm not even going to try. You guys are on your own because every little bit is a different colour of flower. This is really, really pretty if you're into flowers. But over here, Bex is in her element. She's found a big courgette. Yeah, that's how excited she is. There's a courgette.
Quite a few. Why have they not picked them, made soup out of them? Look at the size of these ones. Courgettes.
Is that a big courgette, is it?
Yeah, it is a big courgette. I need to get them picked and make some soup out of them. Or courgette cake, that's nice.
Courgette cake?
Yeah.
With rhubarb. We've got rhubarb as well.
Rhubarb and courgette cake.
And onion. Rhubarb, courgette and onion.
No, you're just being silly now.
Well, hello. Have we met? Oh, there's something you don't see very often in Scotland, but our viewers from warmer climes probably recognise sweet corn. I'm assuming it's sweet corn. I kind of roughly know what sweet corn looks like. I think that's what that is. But I'm not sure if the red ones are also a different sort of sweet corn. Bex has given up. The sweet corn excitement has been far too much for her.
He's away to try and take some photographs of those birds up there. Let's see if they fly away before he gets there. We're watching you. I think those birds up there are cormorants. Although we're as good at bird identification as we are at botany identification.
That's so nice, isn't it? It's
It's a lovely scene.
a bit of nature. And over there,
I like it here.
over there we've got great combray, and over there we've got larks. Very nice. So this is obviously where the Marquis's wee boat would have been kept. It's a really impressive boathouse. As I said before, I thought it might have been something military, like a gun emplacement, but there's no evidence of that on the roof. There should be a metal ring for the gun to rotate on, and it's not there. But what there is the remains of stuff inside it. If you up the top here, if you like old engineering, which as you know we do, there's a really cool old winch and lots of this stuff, which I'm not quite sure what this is for, but it's metal, it's iron, so it's very, very heavy. And there's quite a lot of it, so there must have been a grid of something at some point. Highly technical, in-depth history from Scotland on a shoestring. But there you are, there's a lovely rusty old winch. That's quite nice, isn't it? That's an avenue of beech trees. It goes for 510 metres and it leads to that, which is one of those wonderful old follies that people with money had built. It was built to look like a ruin. It was built like that. It's been renovated fairly recently, but that's basically just there to look like a bit of history, a bit of
A bit of ancient world goodness for the wee man's garden. That is something else, that house, isn't it? It's really cool. You see more of it in our tartan overload video, but there's another wee look at it. Oh, and Bex has just vanished through that doorway because it has our favourite sign in the whole world next to it. It says shop open. And this is the shop. And I know people don't really like repeats in videos, but there's a repeat in this video from their last video from Bute because I am having one of those again. This way is not quite as hilly as the way out, but there's still quite a lot of hills and views. There are quite a lot of really nice views. Look at those mountains over there. Those are as impressive as the ones on Skye, methinks. Hello, Daisy Moo Cow. I'm afraid I've got nothing interesting for you. Bex is going back to nature, eating all the brambles, and De Niro is wondering what she's eating and if he can have some. So these standing stones, quite impressive, are called the Kingarth stone circle, and there's only 3 of them left. Once upon a time, I'm guessing it would have been like more in a circle. There are more standing stones a bit further away. This is a very old historic landscape. We're taking the alternative path to the stones because I've got no sense of direction. Oops. And I also tripped over that, which was hilarious. They are quite imposing, quite a big lump of rock to move and stand up, and yeah, really quite impressive. Look at the size of that one. That's split into several bits, but that was a substantial piece of stone. There's a poem that was on that stone earlier, and this is a poem by a Scotsman called William McGonagall, who was, you know how some people are like a legend in their own lifetime and some people aren't recognised till after they die? Well, McGonagall was known to be terrible while he was alive, and now he's so terrible it's almost funny. In fact, it is funny. He's written some amazing poems. We're not going to put the drone up over the stone circle for reasons that you can see. This is a fairly inactive but still active airfield. Yeah, if the drone had an altercation with that, I'm not sure which would come off worse, but I can probably guess. Yeah, all the atmosphere. De Niro and Bex are off for an explore. That is really smart. I've never seen a memorial marker like that. It's got all the sort of names and dates, the 1800s, but it's carved onto boulders, which are then what that cross is set into. That's quite interesting. That, no idea what the significance of that is, but if I said I knew what the significance was, you probably wouldn't believe me. De Niro is refusing to eat his breakfast, but he is going to have some grass. Oh dear, we let De Niro off the lead and he's decided that it's time for some zoomies. De Niro, do not go out that gate.
Come here. For the first time. Come here, good boy.
We endured absolutely battering down rain all night. But look at it now, it's all blue skies and things. Excellent. Now, last time I was here you could get inside this church, but I'm not sure if you still can. It's a dangerous keep out, but it's said that for quite a long time. I'm going to show you the sort of entrance and the wee stairs bit if it's still here, but I'm not going to do too much exploring because I'm on holiday and a broken leg or worse is not a great idea. I wonder how many people came into this church when it was a church from this wee community, and now it's just there. That is the inside of the church, but as you can see the walls are still in very good condition. It's just the roof that's gone. And if you go down here, there used to be a flight of stairs that's a wee bit overgrown but quite exciting nonetheless. Oh, it's still here. This is the flight of stairs up to the upper level. So let's go up to the upper level. Don't need a drone, you can climb stairs. I'm not going to go any higher. I don't know if you can get any. No. A small matter of a missing floor. But here we are on the first floor of the church. Up there is the bell tower, and there's some of the surviving lat and plaster walls. This is a really cool building. And how's that for an arty shot of gravestones through the windows? Right, back to Bex and De Niro and onwards and downwards. Really pretty views, so this church is very photogenic. And also quite full of nettles. I think I'm going to try and not scratch myself to death on these things. Made it. Although the church here has long been in ruins, the graveyard itself has been extended over at least 3 phases that we could see, so it's still in use today. There's a lot of newer graves down towards the bottom half of the hill, but up here it's all older stuff dating back to the 1700s, 1800s, and one Commonwealth war grave that we found that dates to the First World War. It's interesting that the church is for sale. I would love to live in an old church. I'm not sure if your garden was a graveyard. You couldn't plant many potatoes in that. So, having zipped the drone around the gravestones like I knew what I was doing, it was time to get some slightly more adventurous shots. I wanted to do a big sort of climbing, sweeping reveal of the landscape for you good people, something that would really make you go, wow. As long as I didn't fly the little drone into this tree here, which is kind of obvious and difficult to miss, would be fine. I would be able to set the drone up against that end gable wall, it would climb up, there would be a reveal of the spire. This was going to be amazing and nothing could possibly go wrong because I am a great drone pilot. I know exactly what I'm doing and I've got it down to a fine art. This is going to be awesome. As I said, just don't hit that tree, but that's fine because I'm not going to. You can guess what happened next. With some highly skillful manoeuvring, as you can see, over the gravestones without hitting them, and then along the front of the wall without hitting it, my record for not hitting things had remained at 100%. But what I didn't know at this point was I forgot to look up. Time for a word of the day. So I collected the bits and as far as I could see the only damage was a broken rotor blade, so we adjourned to a nearby cafe where I could replace it with the spares that were supplied with the drone. I suppose there's a lot of ways this could have been much worse. For example, if the drone had been broken, or worse, if it had got stuck up the tree and would not been able to get it down. Anyway, it appeared to be working. We took it for a bit of a test flight and everything appeared to be in order, but we certainly weren't going to be doing anything ambitious with it, not until it had been properly checked over. This is an unexpected moment of extreme coolness. I just looked over my shoulder and saw that, which you probably can't see. Now I think that is the paddle steamer Waverly, which is a very famous historic boat that works on the Clyde. I need to dash off now and get a better camera. I'll be back in a second. I'd love to go on a trip on that one day. If we'd known it was sailing at the moment, we would have been on a trip on that today. Even Bex has got to admit that is quite a cool piece of engineering.
It is, yes.
It's a paddle steamer Waverly and we're now actively looking to book a cruise on it. It's not a cruise, it's a little putter up and down the Clyde, but it'll still be quite good fun and history and all the stuff that we like and that you guys like. So yeah, paddle steamer Waverly. Bonus little feature at the end of this episode.
Bonus indeed, eh?
So although we'd given it a bit of a test flight and thought that the drone wasn't damaged, it was still a bit of a big risk to say, shall we put it up over the Waverly? Because if you put it up over the Waverly, it's flying over the sea, and if there is anything wrong with it, you're not getting it back. But thankfully the little electric budgerigar behaved impeccably and we got some really, really nice shots of the Waverly departing from Rothesay. And with that happy ending, it's time for us to say goodbye. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Scotland on a Shoestring. And if you've enjoyed it, please remember to like, subscribe and all that gubbins, and we'll see you soon for more. De Niro, you're letting it all hang out.